Yo, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the Overflow Podcast. This is Crazytalk.com. My name is Joaquin.
And I'm Jae.
And we are happy to be here. What? What happened?
You cut the music off real quick. Normally you fade it out.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just excited. I don't know why, but I am. Anyway. Oh, I know why I'm excited because we just found out that pastor of Encounter Church, where we've been going to, likes to roast people. and we are the kind of guys that appreciate that.
Yes, we are.
Because now we know we can joke with them. But hey man, what's up? It's been a week since we were last here. What's going on, man? What you doing?
I'm texting Pastor Hunter. Hold on.
Tell Pastor Hunter that we busy right now. Tell him that, next week he can join us, but if not, he needs to.
No, that's what I was doing. I was giving him.
Needs to go to sleep.
Yeah, he does need to go to sleep, actually.
We need to go to sleep.
I was texting him the link to this week's 90 seconds as reference for next week.
Oh, so he said he'd join us next week?
He said he's going to
ask his wife?
Ask his wife.
So that means that on Sunday, we need to go to his wife in front of him, and we should be like,
hey, can Hunter come out and play?
Hunter come out and play with us? But like with Spanish. He said, Señora, Hunter puede salir a jugar con nosotros.
Oh, my goodness. That'll be great.
That'd be hilarious. She would figure a trip out.
Oh, man.
But, so, man, what's up? This has been a busy weekend. We had Sonia's 1-year birthday party.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. The best part of the whole thing was when Sebastian blew the candle out because he was so excited.
Dude. I mean, it was cool because it's not like she was going to blow it out.
Right.
But, yeah, he was so excited. He blew out the candle, and he put his hands on her smash cake first.
Nice.
Like before she did. Like she was just there staring at it, and he was like, it's tasty, mommy.
Oh, man.
For me, the funniest,
that was awesome.
The funniest part was the fact that we're a 3-language house.
Right.
So we sang Happy Birthday in all 3 languages.
Right.
So it was funny because we sang it in English first, and everybody was singing, right? And then
the Polish
people sang, and people were just looking, and then the Latinos sang, and people were just looking.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty hilarious. And I was just looking at all 3. I sang the English. I didn't care to sing the other 2.
Your mom was though.
Of course. My mom had a good time. My mom and your mom.
It was. I was about to say it was dope. Like our moms just sat on the couch and just like stayed together, just yapping. Yeah. It's like the whole time they were there.
My mom goes, oh, I gotta go back when like not everybody's there so that I can have the babies to myself. she was like, I said, well, you text Magda. My mom will ask me questions, and I'm like, dude, you got Magda's number. You just text her. Like, Now, I was thinking, though, with her parent, and this is such a sidebar kind of thing, but, y'all should,
nope.
Y'all should,
nope.
Talk to my mom.
Nope.
And
nope.
Take Magda's parents to Dahlonega.
Nope.
That'd be a good little trip.
Dahlonega for what?
Because it's a cool little city, man. You got the
wineries.
You got
up
the
there.
Town. You got the place where you can pan for gold.
That's where we were last week. We were at Blue Ridge at the town where you pan for gold.
Well, up in the mountains. Did you go pan for gold?
No, because it rained. That was.
So in this place, but I think this place is like it's covered.
Is it? Yeah, that was one of the things on the itinerary. Hey, we're gonna take the scenic train and do all that, and then we'll pan for gold. But when the train got back, started raining. I had to like literally run to the car.
Yeah. Now I think the one here in Dahlonega has the
I don't want to go to the copper mine because asbestos.
I guess asbestos. I think it makes no sense because it's covered. All I'm saying is that would be a fun little trip.
So, but why would we have to call your mom to go to Dahlonega?
Because you get my mom to take them. Then you don't have to go.
No, I would still have to go.
Sucker. Because it's passing. My mom lives that way, so it's passing that way.
Yeah, I would still have to go.
And
But now that the birthday is done, we have now like all the day trips and stuff have to happen.
Oh yeah.
So we got to take them to the aquarium.
Right.
I got to take my father-in-law to a soccer game, and maybe to a baseball game because we've been watching a lot of baseball lately.
Yeah.
And
the Gwinnett Braves. Well, yeah, I saw that. They're not the Gwinnett Braves. They're like the Gwinnett Spitters or something. Splinters.
Trappers. I don't know. It's something.
It's like a fishing term, I think, is what it is. Because I looked it up when we were telling. And like, it's like a nice little stadium, and it's cheap.
They fixed it?
It looks nice to me. Last time I drove by there.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Now, if you get tickets to the Braves game, and you take me, then we can park at Home Depot. And they do a shuttle from Home Depot to the Braves game for free.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. So it's only if I take you.
Yeah. Only way I'll give you access is you take me.
Fine. Yo, Jose Alvarado works at Home Depot.
That's kind of messed up. Jose Alvarado, blah, 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 blah. Where?
I think CSR. I think he's customer service. I'm not even sure. I don't remember.
But does he work in Kennesaw?
He works at corporate. I spoke to him. I think Thursday or Friday. He works at corporate.
Trying to picture him. Why am I not being able to picture him?
It's been a couple of years.
It's been a couple of years since I've seen him.
Yeah.
All right. So you told him I worked there too?
Mm-hmm. He was like, "Where?" I was like, "You never see him.
Never see him,
but he sees you."
Yeah. I see you when you're sleeping. I see you when you're wait, what? Wait a minute. Yeah, oh, that's cool. Well, yeah, good. Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Braves game, the Coke Museum. Have you taken them? Did you take them to the Coke Museum last time they were here?
No.
Oh man. That's a great trip. I'll tell you what. Aquarium then Coke Museum. That's a great day because they're right across the street.
I'd rather do Coke Museum than aquarium.
Why?
Because I need to get hopped up on soda to be walking around for hours at the aquarium.
Really? When I went to the aquarium on my birthday, I was in and out like.
Yes,
an hour and a half.
Were in and out.
No, but you know me. I read everything. I was walking slow.
You were in and out. I'm gonna have my in-laws and the kids.
So you hustle them. Hustle. How about pali?
I can't do that, Cal. You know, Cal's gonna want to see everything, but the in-laws too with the translation and whatever. But that's a good day trip though. Like no, that's
amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Like all those things are gonna happen now because we were just waiting for the birthday,
right?
Because like they wanted to celebrate Sonia's birthday, but what was I saying? Yeah, so now, like we like Mike and I discussed this today. Now, you gotta set a date aside for the aquarium. I wasn't planning on taking him to a baseball game, but since I've been watching a lot of the Yankee games, like he's been watching with me, and again with Google Translate, it's like okay, say that again, and he'll speak into the phone, and then okay, and I'll speak and whatever, right? But like he's really been getting into baseball.
Okay,
and apparently there's a Polish baseball team. I didn't know they played baseball.
Sure.
Out there.
Hey man, Americans took it all over the world.
Right, but he's really been getting into baseball. I'm gonna have to take him to an Atlanta United game because soccer. It's like they both of them love soccer. It doesn't matter who's playing. It doesn't matter what language it is. They love soccer. Right. I'll come home.
Well, that's because soccer the language is not an issue.
I'll come home. No, but
the rules are so simple.
But they know, like they know the coaches. Right. They know players.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right?
They're European.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like I'll come home from work, and they're watching soccer, and they're like having conversations. Oh no, but this guy. Oh no, but that's wrong. I'm like even my mother-in-law is like, oh no, but Barcelona. So that's the only word I understand. Oh, Barcelona, and they'll get into it, And I'm just like, yo, that's so freaking dope. Because I thought it was just, the last time they came, I thought it was just my father-in-law. Like, we watched soccer games together. He'll ask me to put on the Mexican League or whatever. And then, but this time around, like, she sits there too. And, like, she's like, I was like, hey, there's a match on. And they're both like, oh, match? There's a match? And then I have to put it on for them, and that's it.
Nice.
Soccer all night. I gotta watch baseball on my phone because they took over the TV to watch like 2 or 3 soccer games back to back.
Ugh, because they're kind of long.
They are. They really are.
You know, it's like, well, I don't know, because back in the day we used to watch baseball double headers back to back. So I guess
I still would.
I guess that's the difference.
But
I'll nap through a double header.
But yeah. So now all these trips.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff. You know, there's a lot of fun stuff.
There's a lot of fun stuff to do in Atlanta. You just
gotta go do it. You got to
go do it.
Because even like the was it Oakwood Cemetery, the cemetery in Atlanta where like the
Civil War cemetery.
No, it's not. Well, I guess there's people from the Civil War. It's that big cemetery in Atlanta. I can't think of the name. It's used a lot for like photography and whatever, but you can go and walk it, and then walk in that area. There's like places to eat. And the cemetery's got like the lady that wrote Gone with the Wind. You know, famous people are buried there. It's supposed to be like really nice, like kind of, you know, like a little, you know, yeah. There's a lot of neat stuff. That's what I need to do this summer. I need to take Saturdays and go do the free stuff in Atlanta. There's a lot of free stuff in Atlanta.
True.
You know. Well, that's cool. Well, that's awesome then. Yes, we had Sonia turn 1.
The biggest thing.
She had all kinds of attitude.
The biggest thing is they bought a bike for Bean today.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I left early to come and talk. We had to talk about what's happening with the podcast.
Right.
And then and he was already like starting to pedal because he just couldn't pedal, and he would get frustrated. Like
right.
he would get, he's like, ugh! He was like grunting. But I was sent the video where he was finally getting the hang of it. So like he's finally, like at 3 years old, he's riding. He's already learned how to ride a bike. Of course,
it's got training wheels.
It's got training wheels, but you know
he's cheating.
Well, remember that there was a whole discussion about a balance bike, and I'm like, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, when you said that, I don't even know what that is.
I didn't know what that was either until she told me.
Is that where you rock side to side to get it to move?
Yes.
It just seems like way too much work.
And it's ridiculous.
I don't think I could ride a balance bike.
No, but I man, whoever invented it and made it something that you need to get.
Because I've seen the skateboards
before you get a bike. Yo, genius, because they're like robbing people, right? Because it's basically a bike without pedals.
Right,
without pedals.
Which pedaling is the most important thing about riding a bike.
Exactly. But the thing is, right, you can take a bike, right, and a bike with pedals, and you can push yourself or walk yourself, you know, on that bike. And it's like, oh, look, I got balance. But there's a different balance when you're stationary, just letting the bike roll and you're sitting there, to when you're pedaling. Because the bike moves from left to right.
Right.
Like, that's the balance you got to learn, right? So I'm looking at that. I was like, no.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense to me because you need to learn balance while pedaling.
Yeah. Now you become an expert bike rider, then you could get a balance bike because that'd be like a fun thing, right? You know, like if you're like, oh, something. Yeah, that's not smart.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, forget about it.
Well, that's cool, man.
We didn't do it.
Yeah, so it's been
He got his Ninja Turtle bike, which is Ninja Turtles beat out Paw Patrol.
Wow, I'm proud of him.
So am I. Ninja Turtles beat out Paw Patrol. I was like,
that's my boy.
I was like, hey, you want Paw Patrol? I was like, yeah, I want Paw Patrol. And I just came in. You sure you don't want Ninja Turtles? Ninja Turtles. I want Ninja Turtles. Are you sure you don't want Paw Patrol? Nope. I want Ninja Turtles. Like, that's why he has a Leonardo helmet.
Nice. All right, nice. But well, that's cool. Yeah, it's been so it's been a pretty good weekend. Church was good today.
It was
fun.
I was able to make it back finally.
So yeah, man. It's been an interesting been an interesting week. So we're not gonna announce full. I'm just gonna mention this. So we got some big things that we're excited about with the podcast, with a partnership that we're not gonna announce just yet, but
not just yet.
But know that when we do, it's gonna be an exciting thing for us. We're really excited. We're working hard on, as always, trying to improve, trying to get better, and I'm hoping that we'll be ready to announce this new partnership. About a month is kind of our goal, I think.
What?
To announce it, to be able to announce the partnership.
No, we don't need to wait a month to announce it.
You want to announce it now?
No, we don't have to announce it
now. So all right then. So
we can announce it next week.
Oh, you want? Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like we're working on getting stuff together so that we can be ready to announce the partnership. So we're super excited. Be on the lookout. You might not be as excited as we are, but that's okay. We'll forgive you. A lot of stuff happening. This week. This past week on the news. This is it's been a very, very busy week. News-wise, entertainment-wise. We've had so to kind of start with kind of the more serious stuff real quick. We're going to mention it. Not going to dive too deep into it. But this week, for the first time ever, in 60 years? 60 years? 70 years?
I think like 70 years.
The president of South Korea and the president of North Korea met at the DMZ, shook hands.
Explain what that is.
The DMZ is a demilitarized zone. Basically, North Korea, South Korea. So at the end of the Korean War never ended. It ended in an armistice. So
it's like a truce.
So for the last 50 years, there's been an armistice or a truce. And so there's a strip of land that between the two countries where each side has soldiers and guns trained on each other. If you cross, you get shot, right? That's the kind of thing. And there's a room. I think there might be a couple of rooms where both sides can walk in, and it's almost like a neutral land. Where they've met before in the past. So this last week, over the last couple of weeks, it was announced that the president Kim Jong-un was like, hey, we want to meet with the North Koreans. We'll give up our nuclear weapons ambitions, or South Korea. We'll end our nuclear weapons ambitions. And there's a photo where they're shaking hands across the line that marks the border.
Not only that, but Kim Jong-un stepped over the line into South Korea, and then invited President Jae something. I forget his name. Oh, Moon, right?
Yeah, I think it's Moon. Yeah.
Invited him over to the South to
the
North Korean line, and ran off like Benny Hill. No, but right, and like they crossed each other's borders like for the first time in peace and shook hands and hugged, and then they stepped over and took pictures on the North Korean side, and stepped back and took pictures on the South Korean side, and it's pretty dope because like I'm in my 40s. Right, I'm in my 40s, and my entire life, in my entire lifetime, the Koreas have been in war. Right? They have been in war, and North Korea between.
Yeah, my grandfather fought in North Korea. Yeah, I mean in Korea.
It was his father before that, right? And like just a lot of murder.
Yes,
right.
So it's one of the most, if not the most, oppressive regime in the world.
Right.
So that's cool, right?
And then we've got close friends that are Koreans that we know that this is impacting them personally.
Right. So so it's a super dope, kind of fun to watch and to see. Actually, did you see where the Kim Jong Un was like? He made the joke about that he'll stop waking up the president of South Korea with missile tests in the morning. It's like he made this little joke. I was dying. I was like,
I didn't see that, but I did see where
that's hilarious.
Where North Korea credits. That'll be a lot of angry people. Credits this push for peace and this move for peace between the Koreas. They credit Trump for it.
Oh wow, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
interesting. Well, we're gonna leave it at that because we don't want to go here. The other big news event this week,
huge news event,
was America's favorite dad, formerly known as America's favorite dad, Bill Cosby was convicted of I forget what the sexual misconduct, or was it assault?
I don't remember. Assault.
Yeah, it was like sexual assault or whatever. It was basically when he was drugging women. And
let me look it up.
So he could get I think they said he can get a maximum. It was like a maximum of like 10 years.
30 years.
10 years per.
No, yeah,
and then 30 years total, because it was three.
Yeah, it was 3 counts. He gets a maximum of 30 years.
It was 3 counts, 10 years per count. So for the maximum of 30, the dude's 80. So yeah, he's done, right?
Well, he was done the minute these allegations came up. Because,
well, I'm just saying done in the sense
as far as it's funny, it's
being locked up in jail.
It's funny because like this word has has come to mean so much more to us, me especially. But his legacy has been forever destroyed. Right, a lot of networks have even taken down the Cosby Show. Yeah, and they won't show it.
It's no longer being played. I mean, I know
sexual assault, but they are going to fight it. Like the lawyer said.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to fight it. I meant done in the sense of like his life.
Oh yeah,
like he's going to die in jail.
If he goes to jail,
if they put him in there, he's going to die
for the 30 years. He'll die in jail.
He won't make it 10 years. I think the only way they might let him out is if he got like cancer or something. Maybe it'll be the only way they'll let him out. And that's huge though, right? Because the allegations happen. They tried him. There was a mistrial. They got him now. And I mean, this is a dude that had a very long career. And choices there's a lesson there, right? The things that we do, right? They never just happen in a vacuum where there's no consequence. It's just sometimes some things takes longer. The consequences take longer to reach you, right? As a way of, I don't know how else to say it, but the things that we do, you face consequences, and it might take a while, but you're gonna reap those consequences, right? You're gonna reap those things. And I just so crazy. Everybody, Cosby Show, Fat Albert, we all used to watch all that. And now the guy that put it all together, the creator of that is locked up. And it's such a sad thing.
No more Jello pudding pops.
Such a sad.
Do they even still make those?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a sad thing.
It's sad, but
I'm glad the people got justice. It's just definitely one of those situations where it's just like
I have two things.
There are no winners.
I have two things to say to this. I was listening to work radio, so I was listening to I think it was the Eric von Hessler doctrine. I'm sure it was that, and he was playing clips of Bill Cosby's comedy shows from that time where he got accused of doing those things to those women, where he's talking about doing those things to women, and people were laughing. And he it was part of his routine. It's all about you give a woman like some Spanish fly or some stuff like that, and then like he was joking about the very things
he got accused of
that basically he was doing,
right,
because it was in the same time, so he was doing it, right. Wow. So he was like making jokes, and people are laughing, whatever, and it's like, this is it's like almost like a confession.
Yeah, talk about hindsight, right? Going back and going, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, for real. And
there were signs.
And the other thing is what we were talking about before, how on social media, right, there's a lot of which is weird. There's a lot of anger that Bill Cosby got convicted and Harvey Weinstein is still running free, right?
Right.
And what I've been saying, the women that accuse Bill Cosby also press charges.
Right.
Whereas all the women that accuse Harvey Weinstein started a Me Too movement, but nobody pressed charges.
Yet. Well, actually, I know that I I do know. I do remember. I think in L.A. and New York, they had opened up investigations. So that stuff is being investigated. So it's
Okay,
not
good.
like So it's not like it was just. It's like it flared up and it was gone. Like
because it's
like places.
you don't hear it. You don't hear about it at all
Places.
anymore.
Yeah, places. I believe L.A. and in New York, they did start investigations, but it takes time. You got to figure out which ones are prosecutable.
Correct.
The evidence. I mean, there's because you don't want to just try to prosecute someone without having your ducks in a row, because then if they get acquitted, not a mistrial, but if they get found not guilty, then you can't try them again, right? Because of the double jeopardy. So,
not only that,
but that's coming.
But who cares, right? Who cares about a race issue when you have so many victims? Right. If well, he was already convicted, right? So you can't say alleged anymore because he was already convicted. So I mean, yes, America's Father, Cosby Show, Fat Albert, whatever, but he is still a sexual predator.
Yes.
Right, and one of the worst ones because he drugged and raped women. Right. So that is the bigger issue. Beyond that happened because he's black. No, that happened because he's a monster. He's a sexual predator. He got convicted for being a sexual predator.
He got us all. He used the sweaters to confuse us.
Those Coogee sweaters.
Sweaters he went back in the day. All right, so now let's go from that kind of messed up stuff to the movie of the freaking month until Deadpool comes out, and then we'll all be excited about that.
For true. Now that's going to be a big
Avengers Infinity War. So we're going to do all right, so
we're going to try real hard.
So Junior, we might throw some spoilers out there. But
no, we don't really need to throw spoilers out there.
So I went and saw the movie on Friday.
Correct.
And then yesterday I went and saw the movie again with Jay. Jay, what'd you think of the movie?
It was the best DC movie ever. Oh, wait. It was one of the best Marvel movies. It's one of the best Marvel movies.
Yeah.
It angered me a lot. But and not because it was so bad or whatever. It angered me a lot because like so much happened. But
yeah, there's a lot to process in this movie.
Yeah, I have to see it again because I have to take the Queen, but dude, like you get sucked in from the moment it starts,
jump,
and you're at the edge of your seat until it's over.
Yeah,
and when it's over, you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yep.
Everything for me was great about the movie except for the after credit scene.
It was very underwhelming.
The after credit scene was like, yo, this. Like, you seriously made me wait for this?
Yeah, it was very.
And all the other ones were good. This one sucked.
They could have done it differently. Where you would have walked away going, "Oh my goodness, I can't wait!"
Mm-hmm.
But it was just kind of like,
this one sucked.
It's like, eh.
This one sucked. Sorry, guys, you missed the mark with this one. But
stay all the way through to watch it because we did, so you need to too.
And form your own opinion.
Yeah, but it was okay.
But
yeah, the movie was. Listen,
the movie was nuts.
I watched the movie Friday, and Jay will tell you this, and I was just as sucked in, and I knew everything that was gonna happen.
Dude, I was looking at you like,
and I was,
what the hell? Man, is he doing this like to not fall asleep?
I was sucked in like I hadn't watched it. That's how you know it's good. When you can watch it a second time, like even I mean, you can watch it the next day, and you're watching it, and you're still I still got the same emotions that I got when I watched it Friday.
Yeah. How many years has Marvel been building up to this?
10 years.
10 years Marvel's been building up to this movie.
10 years.
It was well worth it.
And they knocked it out the park.
Even with all the mistakes, right? Even with all the mistakes. Because I was talking to someone at work how Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet already showed up in a lot of these after credit scenes and stuff that they've had to like backpedal on because of this story, because they finally were building up to this story. But
Well, remember they talked about it in Thor Ragnarok when Hela saw the gauntlet. She was like, fake.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they took care of that. But no, because there was one movie, I forget which one it was, where they show that Thanos goes into the vault on Asgard and he takes the gauntlet.
Right.
Right. So it's just one of those movies. So yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah. So it's fake. So that's how you tie that to him having it.
So
yeah. So it was
10 years to finally build to Thanos, and it was freaking great. It was great. And then this is the one.
Yeah.
This is my one thing. Two things with the whole DC Marvel thing, right? For all the haters that talk junk about DC being so dark, this is
the darkest Marvel.
This
movie.
is like DC dark levels in Marvel.
I see. I don't. As far as the movies, I don't know, because it's not because they kept it a lot lighter because they had the jokes.
They had Star-Lord being Star-Lord, which for me, like quite honestly, if Star-Lord had not been in this movie, it would have been just as good. I don't think he was needed in this movie. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't think he was needed at all in this movie. Like, you could have taken Star-Lord out. And
why are you picking him specifically?
Because he was useless in this movie. He ain't do nothing but fly the ship.
No, you needed him because you had the Guardians. You can't have Star-Lord not be there and the Guardians be there.
I know, but he was useless. As a hero, he was useless. And maybe that's a setup for part 2.
Right.
But as a hero, he was useless in this one.
Right.
Right? I mean, he finally got to kiss the girl, like, typical Disney fashion. But it was DC level darkness, dude. It was DC level darkness, and I can't say why because it'll be spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know that I agree. Was that
it was DC? Level
it was nowhere near as dark as BVS. No way.
Yes, it was from the beginning, from the jump.
I don't.
As soon as it opened, the movie started,
it was dark, but it was dark. It was definitely dark for Marvel, right? I don't know that it was as DC level dark. That's just me though. Whatever. But the point, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. And so does Vincent. But
it doesn't really matter. The point is,
but I'm saying that's my one. I remember I said 2 for DC, for the DC Marvel, the fake fight, right? And then on the DC side, right? DC or Warner Brothers, let's say Warner Brothers, can learn a lot about using the right CGI technology.
Right.
In their movies, right? Because if you put Thanos side by side to Steppenwolf,
right, no there's no contest.
No contest. Like you see Thanos and he looks real and he still resembles Josh Brolin a lot.
Yeah,
like you see Brolin in that.
Yeah, especially from the top lip up.
Yes, yeah.
Like
not the chin, not the scroll chin, but still, like you see it. And it's like, yo, this looks real.
Yo, Brolin killed it, though, as Thanos.
Dude.
He killed it as Thanos.
Dude.
Like, there's nothing else to say. Like, listen, if you watch now, if you've never seen any of the Marvel movies, read a synopsis before you go watch it. It would be helpful.
Right.
But it was a great movie, complete movie. It was a movie where what your expectations, I think, are subverted a little bit because it doesn't end how you would. It doesn't end how a comic book movie ends,
especially a Marvel movie,
right? It doesn't end like comic book movies end. We'll kind of put it in that way. So go check it out. Next week we might delve into a little more things, but we just want to. This is one of those movies where you need to go. Don't spoil it for yourself. Go watch it, because if you spoil it for yourself, those initial impacts will. I think you'll miss out on some of that emotion that the movie will.
We're talking Infinity Wars, and Derek Miner is here tweeting about Infinity Wars.
Nice. All right, so this.
But wait. remember, the top 5 Marvel movies. Does Infinity Wars bump any of them down?
Yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, I would put that top 5.
So who gets bumped off?
I'm trying to think who my other 2 were in my top 5. So I had Guardians, Avengers, Black Panther, Winter Soldier. You know what? I put it 5. Who I don't remember who number 5 was. You're gone.
So you put Infinity Wars at 5?
For right now, yes. For right now, I don't think it's as. I don't know. I don't know if it's as complete a movie as Guardians or Black Panther or even Avengers. You know, I get. I mean, it might shift. You know, as I sit on it.
Well, it's a 2-parter.
As
right?
I watch it again. But that's the thing. It's a 2-parter, but it's a complete movie.
It's still a complete movie.
You can watch it without the second part.
I put it at 5 too. Like I stay with Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Guardians, Avengers, and then I'll put Infinity War at 5.
Yeah, it was good. Go watch it.
5 because I had the first Spider-Man Homecoming at 5, but I'll bump it down.
Yeah,
I'll bump it down to 6 after this one.
Yeah,
even that kid as Spider-Man in this movie was dope.
Yeah. So
you know who annoyed me?
Bruce Banner.
Nah, I thought that was ill.
Who annoyed you?
Doctor Strange.
You know why I like Doctor Strange? Because it was like finally somebody with as much ego.
Oh no, that didn't annoy me.
Right?
That was awesome.
Got Tony. Like,
yeah, agreed. That was awesome. What annoyed me is that this is just me, just being a stickler. What annoyed me is that dude can't do a spell without spazzing out with his hands all the time. Like everything was so elaborate. Like by the time he finishes, you could like kill like 100 people. By the time he's done, I was like, just do something. You gotta do so much.
Right.
But
yeah, that's true. But yeah, like they're in. Go watch the movie. We're done.
The back and forth between
because we're gonna start spoiling it
between him and Tony Stark.
Tony Stark was great.
Was dope.
Banner was great. I mean, all the characters, they're the moments that they had, whether there was a small moment or a large moment, I thought they did a really good job. Not obviously with so many people, not everyone could have like moments, right?
But
the moments that you did have, I thought were great.
They had moments. Right? They had moments.
That's what I'm saying. Though,
like and it's funny because they didn't give the bigger moments to the bigger heroes.
Correct.
Right? They gave the bigger moments, to the people that needed those moments that flowed right with the story.
Right.
Right? It flowed with the story. So you understand why they had the bigger moments.
Right.
Right. So it wasn't like
for
popularity.
Right. So I think so part 2, how it ends, part 2, those other characters will get their big moments with the way it ended. You know what I'm saying?
Son.
Now,
go see Infinity War.
Go see Infinity Wars. And this will be the last thing I'll say. Thor was the standout of this movie, as far as I'm concerned. They carried over
Thor, yes.
what they did with Ragnarok, how they almost retconned him in Ragnarok to a much better character. Or you could say he grew from the movies. I don't think Jay liked Thor Ragnarok that much. I liked it, and I thought, and they carried that growth that he had in Thor Ragnarok. They carried it right into Avengers, and he was almost the heart of the movie.
Yeah, it was like, and this one I can say because this isn't a spoiler. It's like when he was talking to Gamora about family problems.
Right.
That showed like a lot of maturity and growth from like the first Thor movie. He was just a frat boy. Right. But dude, yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that sentiment. Like Thor was the character that stole the movie.
Yeah, and he was kind of the heart, and he had
he was the everything. Like everything was Thor.
And I'm listen, you got to watch it because you got his interaction with the Guardians is the best. It's freaking hilarious. Like when I watched it the second time, I gotta watch it a third time in an empty theater because I know I missed some jokes because people were just laughing. Like this time I caught a couple of extra jokes, because people just, it was just that laugh out loud.
And it wasn't,
funny. It was great.
It wasn't like out of pocket, weird.
Right. It fit their characters.
And it fit the story.
Yeah. So it was great. So go watch it. Now, so we're going to jump into to this week's new release today album for this week to watch out for that will be coming out on Friday. He is a Overflow Podcast favorite. He's a fan. We're a fan. He's not a fan. We're a fan.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, we're a fan. We're a fan of his. Matter of fact, I don't know if you knew this. The first time anyone heard Matt Kearney, I'm gonna say it. So this is according to me. First time anyone heard Matt Kearney.
Who heard him? Who hurt you, Matt?
Who hurt you, buddy? No. So it's Matt Kearney, obviously. Matt Kearney. He's got a new album, Crazytalk, coming out this Friday. We'll have one of the singles on the website and everything. Check it out. Really, like he's already dropped 3 singles. All of them really good songs. Like they're all different, which is great. Different kind of. He's got a more updated sound. He's trying something new. It was great. First time Matt Kearney, full plates, DJ Maj as a rapper.
Matt Kearney as a rapper?
Yes. First time. When we get done, we'll look it up so you can hear it. Matt Kearney, rapper.
That would explain like his lyrics and stuff in his new music.
No. Listen to his very first album. His very first album was kind of a mix of rap and singing, but he did a song.
Oh, so he did Drake before Drake did Drake?
He did it. Check out his first album. He did first time I heard him, I think first time anybody really heard him.
He was rapping.
On a national stage kind of thing. DJ Maj released his second.
DJ Maj.
Second.
Toby Mac's DJ.
Yes, he released his second mixtape album. I believe it was Full Plates. That was also the album like Mars Ill was on there, whatever. And he was on a song, and he rapped. He was a rapper. So we'll listen to it once we get done so you can hear it. Guys, it's great.
I'm looking at the albums. Which one is it?
Full Plates.
Oh, so it's DJ Maj's. Oh.
Yes, it's okay. DJ Maj. It's a mixtape. Because DJ Maj released like 3 mixtapes or 3 or 4 albums. 2 of them were like mixtapes. Well, he released 1 independently, and then he released 2 through Goatee, I believe.
Nah, it doesn't have anything.
I got you. We'll deal with it later. I got you. All right. So Matt Kearney.
I'm like real curious.
Matt Kearney, Crazytalk comes out Friday. Listen, guys, check it out. New release today. We'll have it listed. Yada.
And we'll have one of his videos.
Yada.
On our website like always.
All right. So now, all right, Pastor Jay, what we got going on this week?
What we have? We got to get that clip.
No, we can't.
Yes, we can.
You can keep singing it.
Yes, we can. We can do whatever we want. All right, so check this out.
We can't because I'm not going to pay the royalties to be able to play it. I can't afford it.
So check this out. Last week, it's just so funny. All right, I'm laughing because Joaquin just looked into his coffee mug and saw that it was empty, and I laughed because I looked into my water cup and I saw it was empty, and we made the same face.
Yeah, and what's even worse is his cup of water is a clear glass, but he looked in it. Just
see, this is why we need to start doing videos so they can see all this craziness that we have. But anyway, so last week I was doing a bit of introspection, right? Because I will be 45 in July.
Old man.
I'm an old man.
That's it. Life's over. Life's over for Jay.
I'm done. That's it. Good night, everybody.
Peace.
I'll be 45 in July. And I've been doing a lot of introspection, like half my life almost. Yeah, well, half my life has been spent in ministry and doing things for the kingdom. Starting, of course, out of New York, Puerto Rico, a few places across the country and stuff. And right, it doesn't matter what you do, but you get to a point in time where you ask yourself, what is all this for? Like, why am I doing all this?
Right.
Right. What's the legacy that I'm leaving behind?
Wah, wah.
Right. And then Joaquin sent me this article on. It's so funny how we got to stop talking about this guy already. But he was sending me this article on Carl Lentz and how Carl Lentz was being attacked because of how he dressed as a pastor. Oh, why does a pastor dress like that?
You could have just said, Joaquin sent me an article about a pastor and how he was getting attacked.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just
that's all you could have done.
The relevance.
You didn't have to.
I wanted to be relevant.
You didn't. I'm out.
Right. So yeah, give me some more water. He actually got up to get water. So then I also saw a video. I saw a video where some other believer and I think I said it on past episodes a bit that like I despise it when I see other Christians or other leaders of the kingdom bashing and attacking other leaders for like ridiculous things. So this guy, I don't even remember his name because he's worthless to remember, but also attacking.
Now he is a child of God. He's not worthless.
Also attacking Pastor Lentz because of the way he dresses as a pastor, right? And then something hit me. I was thinking, I'm reading this, and I started reading the comments and whatever. Right now, I'm glad we don't have a camera doing video. I'm reading the comments and went down that rabbit hole. But then I started remembering how in my years of ministry, I used to wear like ripped jeans because, the ripped jeans thing isn't a new thing. It's a thing from back in the day that came back, right? And I used to wear ripped jeans and the T-shirts and the jackets and the sneakers and whatever to preach in my church and to preach whenever I was invited for like youth rallies or things like that.
Right.
But I didn't have a platform. So the only condemnation I got.
You did have a platform. It's just a very small platform that no one knew about.
The only condemnation I got were from
the local places,
the local churches, and my legalist upbringing. Right, that was it. Like there were times when I had long hair, and it was like, oh, what are you doing being a Christian with long hair? Oh, that's a sin. I was like, no, it's a shame. Being fat's a sin, right? But you stay eating. Right, I actually said that to somebody. God forgive me, but I criticized for the long hair, criticized for the ripped jeans, criticized for wearing sneakers, criticized for preaching for preaching in the T-shirt, criticized one time for preaching in shorts and flip flops, right? And it was an outdoor event.
Yeah, that's too much.
I
can't abide by that.
It was an outdoor event in Brooklyn in the summer. Like you've been up to New York in the summer, right? That summer heat in New York City is no joke.
It's no joke because of it's like what people don't seem to understand about city, right? With all the concrete and then the buildings,
all the
traps,
concrete,
all
the
that
metal,
heat.
and the glass. Yeah,
and then no one has central air.
No, we don't. It's all air conditioning units sticking out the window, right? But the deal is that, right, that's nothing new, right? And if you go back to the Bible, like, John the Baptist, son, right? Very unorthodox and very out the box, right? From what
he wore ripped jeans too.
From what your perception, from what people's perception is, right? So Joaquin and I were discussing that before we started the podcast, and the verse that came to mind was Matthew chapter 7, verse, what is it? Wait, I'm trying to get it.
Verse 20?
Verse 20. Right, verse 20, that says, therefore by their fruit you will recognize them. But as we as we were picking it apart and unpacking it, right? We got into discussion on a few things, and we're gonna get into that right now, right? Because
all right.
This is the deal, right? This is the deal. And I'm not discounting Joaquin and I, because we have also played our part in this.
Correct.
Where, we see somebody and we don't agree with something that they say or something that they wear or whatever, and quickly we break down and we make the judgment on their theology by that, not getting the full story or the full picture, right? But that's not, and we're not gonna go. We're not gonna go.
Yeah, we're not gonna get too deep.
We're not gonna get too deep or get too cliche about man looks at the outward appearance and God looks at the heart, because that's what everybody says.
But he does.
And we're not.
It's not a cliche.
Yeah, we're not discounting that, saying that it's not true. But we're not gonna use that because everybody uses that, and right now it gets bastardized where they use that to justify like other things that they do or wear, right? But we are
right. Both. It's funny because that's a phrase that both sides of the coin will use to support whatever it is they're trying to trying to do.
Right. So we're gonna
justify what they're trying to justify.
Yeah, justify what they're trying to, the point they're trying to bring across or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So this is the deal, right? To drop another name, there was a time that I was very critical of Benny Hinn, right? I didn't like Benny Hinn.
Correct.
Everybody that I was around
loved him,
followed him everywhere.
Right.
He came to New York and forget about it.
Read his books,
and I didn't. Yeah, they would give me his books, and I would give them away. It's like I did not. And the only reason why I didn't like Benny Hinn was because I didn't want to follow the crowd. Right? I'm not gonna go and like.
So Jay was just being contrarian.
Yeah, I was, right. I'm not gonna go and be right, but then there were other things that caught my attention.
Correct.
Right, and which is so dumb, right? Which is a lot of the magic show Christianity stuff and the whole prosperity thing. Right. Wasn't down with that. Right. You can't grow up in the projects of New York City, right? with all the poverty and all the stuff, and like happily and excitedly follow a man who only talks about giving him money,
right,
and sacrificing your last dollar for him because that's what God wants, right? That's
no,
nonsense.
It's not sacrificing; it's sowing.
No, but they would say if it's your last $500 and it's for your rent, you
sow it.
You sow it and you give it sacrificially. God will honor your sacrifice.
That's the difference. Yeah,
see?
But yeah,
they would
give
say
it. You got to give it sacrificially. You're not sacrificing it. You're giving it.
I'm like, well, who gonna pay my rent?
There's a difference. Well, that's one. But that's one of those things that doesn't. Like, I grew up in the country. I grew up in the suburbs of Atlanta, and then in the country of Georgia, and you see that,
well, Creflo's
you're still like, something's not quite right here, right? You don't have to, and it's one of those things that all of us kind of instinctually, if we're honest, right, we'll instinctually, kind of go, ooh, something's not right, and you understand why non-believers see that stuff and go, yeah, that's, right? Because even non-believers, right, instinctually realize something's not right with this picture. So yeah,
but the deal is that we tend to focus on things that we disagree with.
Correct.
Right? Whether if it's how a person looks, how a person dresses,
right,
how a person does not sound the way we do,
we think they should, yeah.
Or the way we think they should sound, or how a person does not do what we would like them to do.
Correct.
In a situation, right? Stating, for example, how when Lentz was on the radio on the interview with Charlemagne.
Correct.
Right? And even better, when he was on The View and he was asked about abortion.
Right.
Right? And he didn't come, and people were angry because he didn't come right out and say, yes, abortion is a sin, and if you
right,
had an abortion, you're going straight to hell. Right? I loved his answer. right?
Right.
I love this answer. It was a scripture-based answer, right? It was about, let's not focus on the abortion or the abortionist, but let's focus on that person and lead them to Jesus.
Right.
Right? Which is what we should all do at all times, no matter what the sin is, right? It's about making disciples, leading people to Christ. But a lot of people were angry that he didn't come out and just condemn abortion and condemn
right off the rip
people who have had abortions right off the rip, right?
Even though it would have been entertaining if he had come out and was like, "Yeah, it's a sin," and looked at that bear lady and be like, "Yeah, it's a sin." And if she was like, "Well, so you think people that have abortions will go to hell if they have do you think people will go to hell then if they have an abortion?" No, I don't think you'll go to hell for having an abortion. You'll go to hell for not knowing Jesus. That kind of only. And honestly, for me, it was just for pure
entertainment.
But anyway,
that's why we will never be invited to those shows. Because that'll be your answer, and then they'll pan to me, and I'm just there shaking my head.
He's not wrong, but why'd you say that?
Jay, do you agree? Well, yeah, but yeah. Yeah. So here, look, I'm taking my mic off. See you later.
I don't need a mic.
Right, but the deal is this, right? The deal is this. And then maybe this is also, it also backfires, right? Because instead of judging people by what we think or how we feel, Scripture says that we should judge them by their fruit.
Correct.
So we judge them by, are they doing work for the kingdom? Are they leading souls to Christ? Right? Are they making disciples? Are they feeding the poor? Right? Are they taking care of the broken and the widowed and the unloved?
Yeah.
Right?
Are they setting, or are they? Cause I think this could also fall into it. Maybe they're not literally doing that, but they've set up the system so that others can do that. Correct. So that others can so that their church can do that.
Right.
Or their ministry or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So, instead of attacking somebody like Judah Smith because of his friendship with Justin Bieber, right? How about we say, yo, God is using this man to disciple this kid who we all know was wilding out.
Right.
Right? We all know that he was going down a very bad path, and for whatever reason, the Lord placed this pastor into this man's life.
Right. Young man's life.
And he went from destroying hotel rooms, right? Destroying hotel rooms and doing all these other crazy things to leading worship at Coachella one Sunday morning.
Right.
Right. And then it goes back to, I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. It goes back to, right, Christians hating on and attacking other Christians, where we should be supporting one another. We should be praying for one another, interceding for one another, because it's all one kingdom. It's not my kingdom, your kingdom, right? Jesus isn't here to see whose kingdom is better. Jesus is here to pick up his people, his children, for his kingdom, right? It's the kingdom of God, not the kingdom of this thought process, not the kingdom of this ideal, not the kingdom of this dogma. It's the kingdom of God.
Right, and it's the thing is, now listen, and we're not saying that there should be no criticism ever, right? Or there should be no discussion about whoa. Like that's not correct. Because in Scripture we have Paul, right,
calls out Peter.
Like and it's like, and Peter actually walked with Jesus, right? Mm-hmm. Paul didn't, right? Paul was visited, but Peter actually walked with Jesus.
Yep.
And Paul was like, yo, you got to stop. You got to stop being double-minded, basically with this, right? Because he would go to the Jews, he would act one way, then he would not go to the Gentiles if the Jew, he was just not, he wasn't doing right.
No.
And Paul called him out. But Paul didn't call him out because Peter, the way you're dressed is whack. No.
Mm-hmm. The way you're dressed doesn't represent
right.
Jesus.
He was calling out the bad behavior.
Correct. And he called it
for correction.
For correction. That's what I was just going to say.
Right? He didn't call it out because, well, I don't agree. No, he didn't agree with what he was doing because it wasn't right. He didn't call him out because, well, Peter, you're not preaching bold enough. Or, Peter, you're preaching too bold. Or, whatever.
It was for correction because what Peter was doing by doing those things was actually detrimental to the kingdom. Right. Because it made people feel rejected.
Right.
And if he, as you said, walked with Jesus and he spoke like Jesus, then Jesus in turn rejects them because this man rejects them. This man who represents and is a representative of that kingdom is rejecting them.
Right. So he was calling out the bad fruit.
Correct.
Right. As kind of the scriptures, recognize them by their fruit. So the point is not, listen, we have to be, what is it? Wise as serpents, right?
I think so.
So wise as serpents.
Humble as sheep, wise as serpents.
Humble as sheep, or whatever the phraseology is. But the point is this. We need to check ourselves because
we can riggedy wreck ourselves.
Before we wreck ourselves. No. We need to check our hearts, and we need to ask ourselves, when I am questioning something that somebody is doing, am I doing it in the spirit of, well, am I doing it in the spirit of, like Jay was saying, is because I don't agree with how he's doing it, or are we actually looking at what is actually being said and what the consequences of those things are? Right. Because the consequences of those things, that's the fruit, whether it's good consequence, right, or bad consequence. So if somebody is speaking and we don't necessarily like the way he speaks, but we see that people are coming to Jesus in genuine faith, then that's what we need to celebrate.
We celebrate and we support that. We pray for that.
Now, honest, right now, if somebody's speaking and we notice that it seems like all he's doing is just extracting money from people, then you call that out, right? But you call out what he's doing. You call out the teaching. You don't lump it into, well, it's because the way he's dressed or because
and you don't
this, that, or the other.
And you don't call it out on social media for the sake of calling out so that you can build your platform off the criticism of that dude, right?
Correct.
You call it out in correction and in correction through love, right? Because even when you call somebody out, you can cause somebody to fall. You can cause somebody to stumble, right? Rather than building that person up and making them recognize and see that what they've been teaching and what they're saying is wrong, and they need to get right. Get back right in scripture and right with God.
Correct.
Right? So the deal is, right, judge by the fruit, not by their appearance, and not by your point of view,
method.
Not by your perspective, right? Because a lot of times what we do is that we attack somebody because they don't either sound the way we sound, or they don't sound the way we want them to sound, the way we feel that they should sound. Right? Because again, I'll bring up John the Baptist. John the Baptist, crazy guy, dirty, messed up hair, lived in the wilderness, ate locusts, right? And just came out of nowhere talking about, you got to be baptized. You got to be baptized, right? And he was criticized and he was attacked. But, dude, nobody can say that he was not doing God's work.
Right. He was doing kingdom work. And, I had a thought and it escaped my mind. So I forget what I was gonna say. About people, I don't know. It's completely like it just went.
I hate when that happens. That's called old age, right? So,
oh man.
So this is the thing, right? This is the thing, and I think this is gonna be like my thing for 2018, right? Let's stop with the breaking each other down in the kingdom, right? Paul teaches that we are one body, right? We are one kingdom, one spirit. Sorry. And you don't, right? You don't take your right hand, right? You don't take your right hand and punch yourself in the face. You don't take your left hand and stab yourself in the foot. And yet, every time you make a video or you make a criticism, where you tear somebody down who's a believer and who's doing the work of the Lord, just because you don't like the way they look, or you don't agree with how they said things because you would have said them a different way.
Correct.
That is exactly what you're doing, because we are one body. We are one kingdom. So you are, when you criticize, the church, saying the church doesn't do this and the church doesn't do that, son, that's you.
Right.
That's you. If you feel that the church is falling short, that's you.
That's like I knew a guy, and I've told this story before, but it's one of those things that should always be told. Like, I was talking to him about going to church, and he was like, no, man, I love Jesus, and I've had encounters with the Holy Spirit, like here in my room praying. I'm like, yo, that's great, but you need to join a body.
Right.
Oh, man, but, the church isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, man, like this is church, and it was good music, good preaching, but they're not feeding the poor. The church isn't, and I'm like, oh, are you feeding the poor? What do you mean? I'm like, no, man, like you go to that church and you be the guy that says, hey guys, I think we should be taking food to the local pantry, and you spearhead it, and you be the guy that leads that church into expanding that ministry to feed the poor.
Right.
Because it's real easy to criticize, right? And that's even something me and Jay, like, we kind of had to learn as we were doing this. It's like, all right, we gotta, when you question something, or when you attack something, right? You gotta attack the idea, right? You attack what was said. You don't attack the person. Right? You go say, look, here's why I disagree with this statement, these statements, right? Boom, 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 boom. Because you're disagreeing with the statement. You can disagree with the statement. You don't have to attack the person.
Correct.
You don't have to be like everybody else. Because that's the problem we're having right now, like Jay was talking about. But the thing is, in all facets of life right now, right? In our society right now, it's all about, you're not attacking ideas, you're attacking the person. And you're trying to discredit the person because you don't like the idea. And if you think the person is incorrect, then talk about that issue, why it's incorrect. Stop attacking each other. Stop attacking the person that made the statement. Because they're still, remember this, we're all still children of God, and we can't.
We all fall short.
We all fall short, and we can't allow ourselves to get down to that level. So, anything else, Jay?
Yeah.
What you got?
Do us a favor. Do us here at the Overflow Podcast a favor. Check your heart. All of this is a heart issue, like everything else. Check your heart before you open your mouth to criticize or tear down another minister, pastor, ministry, church, whatever it is. Check your heart. And before the words come out of your mouth, because my mom would always tell me that en el mucho hablar no hay falta de pecado. Translated, that is, when you talk too much, when you talk a lot, it's real easy for you to sin with your words, right? So check your heart and seek wisdom from the Holy Spirit on whether or not those things should leave your mouth. So, you don't sin by condemning your brother or condemning your sister, right? And like Joaquin said, if you are criticizing because you see that there is a lack in something, then fill it up. Right. Let's use another quote. Right. Be the change that you want to see. Right. You fill in that gap. You do that thing.
Right. Yeah. And that's what we need to do. And once again, always work with the idea of, work with grace, right? If it's somebody that's obviously, if you hear somebody just spitting like just complete heresy, right? Just complete wrong. Then yeah, you stand, that is incorrect, right? That is incorrect. But what are you attacking? You're not attacking the person. You're attacking the idea. But everything with grace. And for me, that's the thing. So we want to make sure that everything we do, however we respond, like Jay said, think about it, pray about it. And I would add, be graceful about it.
Word.
So I think that's it. I think we're done for today.
Yeah,
Remember
next week we have awesome news that we'll be sharing with you guys.
We'll be sharing. We're super excited. We haven't confirmed, but we might have a guest, and we're super excited. If his wife will let him come out and play, he'll join us. Listen, as always, we're glad that you're here, that you joined us. Don't forget, this is outcry.com, where you can sign up for all this stuff. Go to the page, see the videos, and everything. My name is Joaquin.
I'm still Jay.
Thanks for being with us. See you next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening. Remember to head on over to thisisoutcry.com for more content. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or Stitcher.